Hey there, tarot family, tarot cuties. Welcome, welcome. We're doing a mystery reading today. So let's see who this reading is for, Spirit. Let's get our collective. Who is this mystery reading for? I have no idea what this reading is going to be about. I don't know anything. We're just getting a message. This is a great time to hit that subscribe button, to like this video as well. But yeah, Spirit, who's this message for, this mystery reading? Anybody else for this mystery reading? Anybody else for this mystery reading? All right. Let's see who this is for. So the way these identifiers work, and you can skip if you don't want to watch these, there's another timestamp down below that will just say for the reading. So that will take you straight to the cards. But at least one of these should be really familiar to you, significant to you, or it could have shown up in your life in the past couple of days. So we've got here Burn by Usher. That's a song. I think that you should let it burn. John Wick, the movie franchise starring Keanu Reeves, about an assassin. What Would You Do by City High. That's a song. What would you do if your son was at home, crying all alone on the bedroom floor because he's hungry? The Bachelorette. That is a reality TV show, a dating show. They also have The Bachelor, of course, but we've got The Bachelorette. Ted Mosby, speaking of a bachelor, he is the main character from How I Met Your Mother. He is a bachelor for the vast majority of that show. We have here the number 18. That could also be 81. Either of those numbers could have some sort of significance to you. We've got here quarter. Maybe you've got a quarter in your pocket, or you found a quarter today, or maybe you gave somebody some quarters or something. I don't know. Slow Burn by Casey Musgraves. That's a song. Neon by John Mayer. Another song. All About Love by Bell Hooks. Bear Claw, New Girl, also pastry. So Bear Claw was a character played by Josh Gad on New Girl, but it's also the name of a pastry. We've got here Diamond, so that could be an actual diamond. It could be, so like the gemstone, this could be talking about an engagement. We've also got a diamond on season 1 of Love is Blind, so maybe that's relevant somehow. Big Rich Town, 50 Cent featuring Joe. Houston, Texas. Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. That's both a book and a movie. Bracelet. So maybe somebody's got a diamond bracelet, or a diamond bracelet could be significant here somehow. West Africa, Nigeria, Ghana, Cote d'Ivoire, Benin. I'm also going to add Togo in there as well. Hidden Figures. That is a movie about women who worked for NASA, specifically Black women who worked for NASA, helping to put a man on the moon. Bali, Indonesia. The Departed. That's a movie starring Leonardo DiCaprio, Matt Damon, Jack Nicholson. Baby Girl Lisa. So that could be an actual baby named Lisa, or maybe that's a nickname. It is meant to talk about somebody from 90 Day Fiancé. There was a woman named Lisa there who had a fiance who was from West Africa. He was Nigerian. She's American. Vietnam. So some of you guys might be in an international relationship, or could have maybe been in an international relationship. This Lullaby by Sarah Dussin. Yacht. Maybe you went on a yacht. Maybe It could be like the person, if you were in an international relationship, maybe something to do with them and a yacht. I don't know. Peanut butter and jelly. That is a sandwich. I guess it's also just a flavor combination. Sometimes also people say that like when they're jealous, like, oh, she's peanut butter and jealous, or she's peanut butter and jelly, or just like she's jelly or something like that to say jealous. Send Me on My Way by Rusted Root. That's a song. It was very famously featured in Matilda. Confidence. Maybe you are working on your confidence, or maybe somebody said, like, was talking to you about confidence, or maybe somebody like told you something in confidence, meaning like in secret, hoping or believing that you wouldn't tell it to anybody else. Poppy seed bagel. Brushing teeth. Doug, the TV show. That's a Nicktoon. That was the one that had the theme song like do 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 do. Voice. You could work largely with your voice, like maybe you're a teacher, public speaker, attorney, salesperson, something like that. Breakfast at Tiffany's, movie and novella, movie starring Audrey Hepburn as Holly Golightly. Search Party, that's a TV show. It was on TBS and then it moved to HBO. And then last but not least, we've got Red Hot Chili Peppers. So if any of these things are familiar to you or significant to you, or they've come up in your life in the last few days, then that means that this mystery reading is for you. Yay. Okay, I'm going to go write these down in my tarot journal. I did also create a tarot journal for y'all. So if you like to read your own tarot, or if you like to watch videos or things like that, then this journal could definitely be helpful. I also made an abundance journal, so if you guys are interested in that, that will be linked below as well in the description box. But yeah, let me go write these down and we'll be back in just a second for the reading. All right, tarot cuties. So this mystery reading, we're going to be using the Inversion Tarot. I truly have no idea what this is about to be about. I don't know what this message is going to be. We're just going to channel direct from Spirit. Spirit, what do you want to say? What is this message? We have the Seven of Cups, the Six of Wands in reverse. There could be some sort of fantasy, or maybe like a really fun time. Let's get the cards out first before I start making interpretations. We've got the World card in reverse, the Star, Three of Wands here, also in reverse. What's this message? What's this message? Eight of Pentacles, High Priestess in reverse. So there's something here about going against your intuition. We got the Chariot, we got the Death card, Five of Cups, Nine of Wands, the Empress. If there was one card to sum up the theme of this reading, okay. Horseman of Swords, Knight of Swords in the reverse. Okay, put that there to the side. So this is about moving in the wrong direction. And I don't want to say, you know, anything about being on the wrong path or whatever, but this can be like jumping to conclusions about something. You're not seeing, there's something you're not seeing clearly. There's an illusion here, whether that is like wishful thinking or like an emotional illusion. This could have something to do with your friends or a group of friends. It could have something to do with wanting some kind of praise in some way, or YouTube doesn't love boobs, so gotta cover those bad boys up. There's an invitation that you should take. There's an invitation that either is coming your way or has been already presented to you. And I think that you're being clouded by some situation where you feel on top of the world. There's some situation where you're feeling like a star, you're feeling on top of the world, you're feeling like just the shit or the baddest bitch or something like that. However, I know that that doesn't sound bad. I know that none of those things sound bad. To feel, you know, all good and hyped up and this, that, and the other. That sounds cool. It sounds great. But there's something about this that's false. There's a falseness to it, and it's actually holding you back. And it's, maybe the word is not false, but the word is temporary. Okay? It's temporary. It's not meant to be long term. All right? You have greater horizons to go towards. You have other things to work on. And I think inside of you, you know this. But there's something, I think, that makes you want to like give in to the illusion. You know, it's kind of like thinking about, oh, when you're just like passing through somewhere and you have, or like let's say you're like on vacation somewhere and you and your partner have an incredible time on vacation and you start being like, well, what if we moved here? What if we lived here? You know, we're having so much fun. We've made friends with the locals and everybody loves us. Like, maybe we should just move here. But like, you know that that's just an illusion. You know that it's just temporary and it's not meant to be something long term, and that you have other things that you need to take more seriously and other roads to travel, other crafts to perfect or aspects about your life that you need to perfect, you know? And I do think that like leaving this behind is going to give you a certain level of disappointment with this Death card and this Five of Cups here. It's going to give you a certain level of disappointment, but it's also going to give you a certain level of strength or reinforce the strength that you already have. For some of you guys, this might have to do with your mother or like a female authority figure in your life. There may be somebody who has kind of like a controlling aspect in your life, and being able to move forward from this would maybe help you guys to, you know, not have that be like a permanent part of your day-to-day life. You know, you might need to tell this person that it's just temporary, right? I want to get this other deck out here. I'm going to use the Gypsy Oracle here to add a little clarity to this reading. Spirit, can you add some clarity to this reading for us? What's going on in this mystery reading? Is there anything that you can add here? Fortune. Money. Money is coming your way. That's exciting. Faithfulness. I wonder if like some of you guys have a dog or this has something to do with the dog. This Eight of Pentacles here did make me think about work. It was like the only card here that had to do with that. This is the only Pentacles card here. So something to do with work may kind of like make you realize that you need to go in a different direction. All right, we're also going to use this Archetypes deck here to see if there's anything else that comes out. Spirit, is there anything else that you'd like to add to this reading? To offer any additional insight, clarity, aspects, anything like that. Okay. All right, we've got here the prayer. Maybe scoop these up a little bit, give us a little bit extra room. Those here to side. All right, guys, I'm going to rearrange these so you are going to see a little bit of editing magic in just a moment. All right, let's see. We've also got the crown. Okay, so I'm seeing some of you guys made like a promise. Some of you guys made a promise to somebody. This could have been a promise to your mom, or a promise to like a mom, or some, like I said, female authority figure or something in your life. And I see you wanting to be faithful to that promise. You want to be faithful to that promise. And I think that you're maybe trying to find a way to make that work here with the prayer. Somebody may have asked you for help, or you might be asking for help in trying to fulfill this promise, okay? But there's like some sort of greater destiny coming for you with this World card here. It's not here yet. And it is something that you've hoped for, something maybe that you've wished for. It could pertain to your work as well. But with this Knight of Swords being like the main theme of this reading, there is this idea of like rushing to conclusions or rushing really fast in the wrong direction. And I don't see this as running away. I also just heard, "Don't save her, she don't want to be saved," from that J. Cole song. I think it's from Power Trip. This Empress in reverse does make me think of somebody who's on a power trip, maybe who's like sending somebody else out to do their bidding too soon, or on a hunch, or on a unrighteous mission, you know. And I feel like you want to keep this promise, but there's something great and mysterious that is waiting for you. And I kind of think that it's waiting for you somewhere else. And I think you're going to have to like tap into your truly mature self, and maybe even like see yourself, like visualize yourself when you're older, in order to be able to see this situation with perspective. You know, there's like that saying, "This too shall pass." And you're not dead yet. And there's still so much more life and so much more living that you have to do before you give into this illusion, or, you know, this whole thing. Going back to my little like vacation example with the couple who's like, "We've had so much fun, we should just move here, blah, blah, blah." Like, maybe they decide to move there in 20 years when they retire. But that time to do that and to give into that fantasy is not now. There's still so many other things that they have to go through and that they have to experience before they go and live that fantasy or settle down into that scenario, that, you know, very seductive scenario that they're in. And yes, there is disappointment that comes with it, but you're going to end up realizing that there's so much more potential outside of that thing. With the empty room here, there's so much more potential outside of that thing. And I think that there's also an opportunity probably to like make some money that is going to take you away from this. All right, so I'm going to read the Apocalypsis card here because I think that it really does a great job of summarizing some of the energy that we're seeing here as well, especially when it comes to like the Chariot, this Death card, the Five of Cups card here, the Nine of Wands. This whole piece about what I said about there is going to be some disappointment when you kind of realize that you have to move forward, but at the same time, it is for the best. And I think this is also going to help with the idea of that illusion that I was talking about too. So Apocalypsis, this card talks about removing the veil of deception. So like I said, that's that illusion I was mentioning. Apocalypsis indicates a particularly painful time, one that unfolds when two disparate dynamics occur simultaneously, pulling the psyche in seemingly opposite directions. The first is a lifting of the veil. This means truths that have been kept in the dark are revealed, seen, and unearthed. No matter how relieving it is to witness them come into the light, an element of despair and grief follows. The second dynamic is the regeneration that comes from the wreckage of the revealed truth. The old narrative breaks and a new story forms. Apocalypse's energy is similar to a forest fire's, devastation for the sake of regeneration. The veil lifts and we see who and what has been hiding. From the nakedness of the truth, a child is born. Having faith in the process. Hold on to your center. That is the only way. When light, the unknown becomes known and guides the way. When dark, nihilism, fatalism, and hopelessness. Also says that all kinds of things will be revealed during a time of apocalypsis, from big global lies to little white ones that lace the bedroom sheets. Brace yourself for the horse of truth to storm your every field. So going back to that example about like the couple who goes on vacation and they're like, oh, we love it here. Everybody's so nice to us. We should just move here, blah, blah, blah. Those people are seeing it through vacation eyes. They're not seeing, that each person that they've encountered or the people who they think are going to be their friends or whatever, blah, 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 if they were to move there. Each of those people has their own lives, their own issues, things that they're all going through. They're not seeing like the dirty underbelly, for example, They're not seeing things as they really are. And I kind of feel like you're in that state right now where it seems like everything is like fine and dandy and great and you're really enjoying yourself. But there is, and that's not to say like there's something scary. It's not there's something scary, but there's just like there's something real underneath it. And real people, they do have real problems. They also have, real situations. Not everything is going to be sunshine and roses all the time. And I feel like you're kind of in this, rose-colored glasses kind of scenario. And eventually the glasses have to come off and you're going to start seeing the truth. And the truth is not going to be as righteous or as wonderful as it all appears to be. And that's what this Knight of Swords is about. That, sometimes the truth is not always pretty. Right? So this is not over here saying like you're in for a rude awakening. I don't think that that's the case. I actually think that you're going to be kind of like pulled out of this scenario sooner than you think that you will, since this is temporary. But also you're going to be pulled out of this scenario before you even have a chance to fully uncover all of the stuff. It's like when you think about like going to a resort, you don't get to see the back of house stuff. Like you don't get to see where the food gets made, You don't get to see the waiters and waitresses like all fighting with each other in the back over who's hooking up with who or whatever. You don't get to see what's going on in the offices of the owners and this, that, and the other. All you're doing is enjoying your resort experience and the fine dining and the beautiful rooms and the gorgeous views and the pool, and you're getting all of the good stuff. You're not really seeing like the truth of what goes on behind the scenes. And wherever you are now in your life, it's the same thing. You're getting the good stuff. You're not seeing the behind the scenes aspects. And I feel like you're going to end up circumstantially getting pulled out, whether it might have something to do with work, getting pulled out of that. Even if you have made like maybe a promise or a commitment or something like that, it's not time. It's not time for that. The ocean, it ebbs and it flows, right? The tide comes in and the tide goes out and things change. It erodes things. And that commitment that you made, I feel like, is going to be subject to this change, this global change, this cosmic change, whatever that may be. And it may not be here quite yet, but it is coming. It's coming in. It's something that you wished for, something that you hoped for. And it is going to allow you to expand your horizons. there's a message that's coming in. It might be taking a little while. Maybe it also, you might want to check your spam inbox or something like that, or maybe you haven't checked your actual mailbox in a while, but there is a message that's coming in, and I think it's about work, and I think that it is going to kind of like change some things for you, cause you to move in a different direction than you had initially planned or that you were thinking of when you were kind of like caught up in the moment here. You know, some of you guys might end up moving, or even just moving out. If, let's say, for example, you live maybe with your parents or in your parents' house, some of you guys just might end up moving out. You might not move cities, but you might just move to a different place. And I think you're going to end up being really like focused on your money as well too with the crone here. Let's read the crone as well. The witch, the old woman, the sage. The crone has seen it all. Nothing frightens or surprises her. She is the final manifestation in the feminine trifecta of maiden mother crone. In her long life, she's witnessed endless cycles of death, sex, failure, rebirth, conflict, and regeneration, giving her the ability to rise above the world of duality. She laughs at notions of good or bad, right or wrong, as she has seen the earth churning, smoldering, taking life, and giving life. The crone energy accepts everything in, devouring beauty and suffering with the same mouth, using their energy to reveal hidden secrets and knowledge. We were just talking about that. Her energy resides in all of us, though it is feared by most for its power and unconventional relationship with death and the macabre. Awakening the crone is dangerously rich and unapologetically magic. When light, magic, clairvoyant, psychic, intuitive, wise. When dark, vindictive, bitter, isolated, and ostracized. The crone is the master of letting go and residing in what is. So yeah, letting go of the illusion and like actually seeing things for what they are and being willing to live with that. Okay? Seeing things for what they are and being willing to live with that is going to be important. She rejects nothing. The crone is often seen with the crow, smoke, night, the moon. And when it says she rejects nothing, I said there's an invitation that's going to be coming your way and you should take it. Of course, you have free will, but this message is encouraging you to take it. The crone has a difficult time tolerating superficial, petty, day-to-day musings. That's what we're talking about with this illusion here. So you're going to be yearning. Like I said, the rose-colored glasses are going to have to come off, and you're going to realize that you actually prefer living more deeply than living in that fairy tale land or fairy tale life that you thought that you wanted. Okay? The crone has a difficult time tolerating superficial, petty, day-to-day musings. She moves away from such relationships and seeks a deeper path, even if this means a more solitary life. I also want to read from the ocean too. The ocean says the unconscious, the depths, the incomprehensible. The power of the ocean is unmatched. To step into its salty waters is to step into the unknown. By its sheer volume, the ocean represents the unconscious, all that is beyond our understanding. We cannot live within the ocean. We cannot claim it, manage it, or own it. It rejects our every attempt to dominate nature. Yet amid its overwhelming power, it calls to us, inspires us, and invigorates our life on land. It dissolves the little us into the big us. When the energy of the ocean is present, there is change stirring that is beyond any change you've known before. The ego must dissolve. The saline swells work on your very cells, your fibers, your deepest underlying beliefs. Like Aphrodite, we rise from the ocean's froth, a new being. Life is change. Let the wave crash. When light, deeper than deep, big dreams, discovery. When dark, subsumed, drowned, polluted, unpredictable. The ocean displays every emotion without shame. To witness its glassy, moonlit surface and its unforgiving storms is to know the full spectrum of the human experience. Steady waves touch their surface. Get in the water. No matter where you live, each drop is part of the whole. The ocean is in every tear. So yeah, you are going to have this desire and the opportunity to live more deeply. And I know that you've made a commitment in some way, shape, or form to someone else or to something else, but you're going to find out pretty quickly that living in this superficial way is not it. It's not for you, and that things are not as they seem. You're going to find out that you had the wrong idea about what was going on in this space where everything seems so perfect, or where you had this illusion or this fantasy. And like, I already feel the sadness, like I feel the disappointment, because it's like, who doesn't want something to be perfect? Who doesn't want something or somewhere to be lovely and romantic and, you know, where you are the center of attention and you do feel on top of the world and you're the most beautiful person in the room and all this other stuff and blah, 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 right? Like, who doesn't want that? But it's not real. Your perception of this, I won't even say it's not real. Your perception of this is not the reality of how things actually are. Okay, so I think you've also made a promise to yourself in some way, shape, or form that you're kind of maybe forgetting about when you have these rose-colored glasses on, or when you're in the middle of the fantasy or whatever. You're kind of forgetting about it. I think that you made a promise to yourself to, you know, explore the depths, to explore that full spectrum of human emotion, to explore all of the possibilities, and to, you know, find out more about the oneness of the world, find out more about spirituality, find out more about, you know, your relationship with the earth and yourself and with God and all that kind of stuff. And sometimes that means leaving a place or going to a new place, flying away and being free. We've got some interesting hand and bird energy going on here. You know, we've got this dove here in this card. We've got this crow here in this card. And then we've got these hands that are like, we've got one reaching out, we've got one doing some holding, and some that are clasped. And these clasped hands, like, they feel so restrictive. And I know that, like, the vow, it's supposed to be like this beautiful thing, like this promise. Even like the faithfulness card and the vow card, they both even have like similar colorings with this yellow here. Yellow can be a color of joy, but it can also be a color of caution. And this feels very restrictive, like the vow, like the way that the hands are clasped. It feels so restrictive when, like, you could be flying free, you know? And I think that if you stay in the fantasy long enough, then the veil will be lifted and you'll realize that that's not where you belong right now. But the money is coming through. The money's definitely coming through, especially we've got this fortune card here and we've got this like coin that this crow is holding. I'm very attracted to that coin. But the coin is in the clutches of this bird. Birds, you know, they have flight. They have the ability to go wherever they want and do whatever they want. They're not stationary animals. So, yeah. You need to remember to honor your freedom and to honor your adventurous spirit. Don't forget to check your email. Check your email, check your spam, because it does seem like there could be some lost messages here and there. But, you know, don't go against yourself. Don't go against your intuition. If you know in your heart and in your intuitive body that, you know, you're supposed to live one way, don't try and force yourself to live another way, or give in to an illusion when you know what the real deal is. Whatever this disappointment is, you are going to get over it. And I think you'll have like a more realistic worldview because of it, and a more realistic view even of, you know, what you want because of it. For some of you guys, this could be a message that has something to do with like your family or having a family in general. If you resonate with that. If you're close with your family, something like that, you know. One of these cards did talk about the idea of like being able to go it alone and being alone. And you may have had like this idea about home life. You may have had this idea about family life, or about having kids, or, you know, being a female authority figure in your family or something like that. And that it just might not be the right time for that. It might not be, there could be a message here for some of you guys that like that either needs to be on hold, or it's not the right time for that, or something like that. And if that's the case, then this is temporary, especially if that's something that you really want. Know that, you know, this too shall pass, and this is a temporary time period. Okay? But yeah, being okay being alone, or being okay being less stationary, I think is going to be a key here, and being able to kind of go with the flow. And experiencing all those emotions that go along with that, because there is a loss here. There is some sort of, you know, whether it's like taking the rose-colored glasses off and you lose that fantasy, that vision, or if it's like, even if you see the ugly parts of the scenario, but there is still something really beautiful there that you want to hang on to, but you're just not able to hang on to that thing right now, you're going to feel the loss of that. And it's going to be sad when it ends. And you have to be able to feel those full emotions, the full spectrum of those emotions as well. And I feel like there's anger. There's anger about that. And like, that's okay. It's okay to be angry about it. It's okay to be sad about it. It's okay to grieve it. But there is a really great invitation coming your way. And I think that that will make up for it in a lot of ways. For some of you guys, like the idea or the hope of motherhood is coming through right now, and there being some sort of like disappointment as to what that means for you in your life, whether that is like you being a mom or your own mother, something like that. And I think that there's like some rethinking that has to happen when it comes to that. Taking like a more somber or even more serious look at what that is and what that entails, rather than just like rushing into something. Understanding, you know, the seriousness of certain things. And it's like this idea that it, like, you know, your life is changed completely when you take that step. So, you know, like when people become parents, you know, it completely changes their lives, especially when they become mothers, it completely changes their lives. And I think the reality here is that you're not ready for that type of life change, whether you're a parent already or not. There's, you know, always the potential to become a parent again or something like that. But it doesn't have to be like a literal physical child that we're talking about here. There's just the idea of a completely irrevocable life change that you have thought about making. That's a major commitment that you've thought about making. And whatever this major commitment is, maybe that you've already made the vow to do, or that you are, you know, faithful to the idea of, it's really serious. It's like very serious stuff. And I think that you're considering it through a false lens. That's really the message here. You're considering it through a false lens, through this lens of the Seven of Cups, through the lens of this fantasy. And so you're not able to make that kind of commitment in honesty, in earnest, because you don't have a clear vision of actually how deep it runs. Okay? And so this reading is almost like, it's like a, I wanted to say like a come to Jesus moment. And, you know, this is not a religious channel. That's not saying like anybody like, you know, go to Christianity or anything like that. That's a colloquial saying in the southern United States. It's like a moment where you see things for what they are and you tell the truth. And Spirit wants you to see things for what they are and to recognize the truth. And the truth is that this commitment that you're talking about making, that could change your life forever and literally change the fabric and the DNA of who you are, it's too serious for you to make right now. And you don't have the information that you need. You're doing it from this like tainted or tinted lens that is not allowing you to see the full clear picture. And pretty soon, when the veil is lifted, you'll be able to see things as they really are, and you're going to be glad that you did not follow through with that commitment, okay? Of course, again, everybody has their own free will. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and to like this video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!